a Pentecostal girl through and through.
Are these Pentecostal songs?
Yeah, they're Pentecostal songs.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it runs through. I mean, whether it's Methodist or...
Well, come to
yeah,
think
it
of
runs
it,
through
they're,
now.
yeah, they're traditional church songs.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
But love Daniel Hamilton for always bringing us those medleys.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes, yes. Well, we had to get you pumped up this
Yes.
morning, and so we hope that we got you dancing in your room, in your bed, wherever it is that you find yourself at this morning watching us. But thank you so much for joining us. This is another edition of TV3 New Day. We're on your screens as usual from now till 10 a.m. And we're also live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. You can watch us on DSTV channel 279. And well, this morning we're healthy.
Yes, we're happy. We're grateful to God for
exactly
a brand new day. Yeah, we thank God for a brand new day.
Yeah.
The opportunity to be on your screens, to serve, to interact with you, and most importantly, to talk about the things that matter to us as Ghanaians. Tomorrow is a very important day for all of us in Ghana, as the finance minister is set to address Parliament. He is expected to read the 2024 budget statement and the government economic policy for 2024. So tomorrow, all of us are going to be glued to our screens, and we'll be live from Parliament to bring you exactly what's happening there. He's expected to outline government strategy for 2024 for revenue generation, plans to alleviate Ghanaians from this very difficult economic time that we find ourselves in, and also let us know what the government plans to do for us in terms of finances. Now, there have been many questions and concerns and suggestions, and, you know, Ghanaians are talking about expectations ahead of tomorrow's budget reading. So we're going to start our show this morning with a question to you. What are your expectations ahead of the 2024 budget reading that's expected to take place on the floor of Parliament tomorrow morning? We spoke to some people on the streets of Accra. We'll play you a video of their thoughts and what they're expecting. But what do you expect to hear? The number will be on your screen soon, and you can call us and let us know what your thoughts are. Also, you know, you can cash out this morning and every morning on TV3 New Day by dialing *439#, *439#. And I tell you, this is the best time to do it right now. So pick up your phone and dial *439#, and you can win 1,000 Ghana cedis. And then we'll go on to big issue with Bella.
Yes, indeed. So this morning we'll also be talking about the tax, well, of course, the budget reading tomorrow and what I guess expectations would be, and of course concerns that have been raised by some CSOs to scrap some taxes, reduce them to a large extent, and focus on addressing corruption. And so we'll have Nana Kumia, the Chief Executive Officer for the State Transport Company, joining us, representing the MPP, and Mr. Alex Segbefia, the Director for NDC International Relations Directorate. And so we'll be having a conversation, and beyond that, we'll also look at the statement that was given on the floor of Parliament by the Minister for Security, Honorable Kandapa. Yesterday, he finally appeared in Parliament to answer questions on issues concerning the Garu attacks and why the military decided to head down there and attack or brutalize some of the residents. And in fact, he spoke to a large extent in favor of the military, because he also said that an attack on a security operative is an attack on the state, and he didn't see why there was a need for the locals to attack the security operatives when he sent them there on a mission. And so we'll get into that conversation as well. We'd like to hear from you what you make of this. And like we said, the hashtag is TV New Day. What are your expectations from the finance minister? Are you also hoping that some taxes will be scrapped? Where we are now, and of course, the pressure on the finance minister to ensure that we show up our revenue generation in this country. There are some who are thinking that it's likely we might be paying a lot more in terms of taxes. If that should happen, well, we'll see how it goes. But there's some who are also calling for the scrapping of the COVID levy that we're paying, 1% of it. They're actually saying that it's either we scrap it and give a full account of how much money has accrued over the last 2 years or so, or we rename it to either the cancer levy, kidney levy, some kind of levy that supports our health system, and that will make it easier for citizens to pay. Do you think that that would be a step in the right direction, or not. There also calls for taxes to be scrapped on raw materials that are brought in to produce sanitary pads locally. So the AGI is calling for that as well, because they say that if the taxes are scrapped off the raw materials.
And so Nooks will be talking to us today about the extent of how this has affected learning, young children, teachers, and what Nooks suggests that the government does about it moving forward. So that conversation will be with the leadership of Nooks here in studio. We also have a very interesting conversation with our songbird, Ifya, EFYA. She's joining us on the show today. I'm excited about that. She has something new for us, and she's been talking a lot about her music, her journey, and what young people should know. We've also had some conversations, or we've heard some conversations about aspiring to win a Grammy, whether or not that's what our young musicians should be focused on. So when she comes in this morning, we'll talk about that. But we'll delve straight into our this morning conversation on the budget reading, which is set to happen tomorrow in Parliament. We already have our first caller on the line. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Francis calling from Kansas.
Frank, you're welcome to the show. So tell us, ahead of the budget reading tomorrow, what are some expectations that you have?
You know, for me, with this budget, I'm not expecting anything as usual. For over 7 years now, what have they given to this country? Nothing. So tomorrow, to me, whatever the usual thing, they'll just come, read, and go back and do what they want to do. For me, I think they are now coming to outline the last hour official. It means that everything that they mention, they will then allocate the money. Parliament will do their usual by approving everything inside. So they then go and spend the money and sleep, and we continue to suffer. So me, I'll tell them, yes, don't put anything on your heart expecting this, expecting that. You get heart attack and die.
Oh, so you have no expectations.
They are looting business in the Parliament tomorrow. It's as usual.
So you have no expectations. Do you want any tax to be scrapped? Nothing?
No, I'm not expecting anything. There's nothing they can give us. Nothing.
I see.
There is nothing they can give us. They are going to do their looting business and that's all.
Frank, thank you for calling. Frank sounds like he's lost all hope. But thank you, Frank, for that call.
It's not surprising, though, that you know, someone like Frank will speak like this. And I'm sure it reflects the views of many people, especially because many times when we've expected that taxes will be scrapped, that things will be made better for us, the minister comes and announces more taxes. And so I guess a lot of people may be expecting that. And mind you, next year is the election year. So the demands on government will even double or quadruple, because everybody's expecting their roads to be fixed. Everybody's expecting that life will be much better for them next year. A lot of expenditure will go into some of these things as well, just to please people to an extent to want to vote for them. And so it's really going to be tough on government. I really don't know how they're going to manage this, but let's see how it goes. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is I'm calling from Chabale, inside Agric.
All right. Talk to us. Do you have any expectations for tomorrow?
The budget, we were expecting them to do something meaningful for us.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
I said the budget, we are expecting the finance minister and his appointed members to do something meaningful for us. Because the unemployment situation is rising up in this country. We are appealing to them. They should fear God and let our youth realize that they can do something meaningful. But if, because what they used to do, we don't want to see it tomorrow. I said they should fear God and let us know that fact. Ghana will still have hope. But if they used to do their usual thing of doing, then we can forgive them in coming future.
Should the COVID levy go?
Hello, okay?
Should the COVID levy go?
The comment of it. In fact, thank you for reminding me. The comment levy. We don't need it again. Because nowadays, when you buy electricity and everywhere, it's there. I wonder how. Because nowadays, you tell us the government is no more there. Then why are you still forcing us to pay for it? It is because this is a thinking that when our leaders start thinking. The country is not working. and the youth are not having jobs. What can we do so that you will help us with this budget tomorrow?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. He thinks that COVID levies should go.
Absolutely.
And they should fear God. and and make sure they put in policies that will favor young people.
Yes. Policies that will favor young people, yes. Our NAPCO trainees have been talking. Yesterday, that video from the news team, we heard a lot of young people talking about things that must change. For example, I would like to understand why we still have we are still paying the COVID levy. It's been 2 years on since we got out of the pandemic, and we're still paying levies. Well, let's talk to this caller, and then we'll come back. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, what's your name, sir?
My name is Salim.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you expect, or your expectations ahead of the budget reading tomorrow?
Don't expect to maybe convert the COVID back to probably the kidney or other breast cancer or the prostate. Maybe. Aside that, nothing. Because the past 7 years, as the first caller said, they end up being disappointed. So they should just try to come tomorrow and surprise us by taking away the COVID tax, because there's no more COVID. So I don't see why you are still paying the tax, and they should account for it.
Well, they're taking the tax to pay for all of the expenditure that government had to dole out during the I believe.
So no, if what's the using for?
I beg your pardon?
The one that you are doing, the one that you are charging, what are they using for?
What are they using it for? Okay.
Yes, there's no COVID again. There's no COVID again, so let's channel that tax to something else that will benefit the nation.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling. He thinks that COVID, there's no COVID, so what are we using the money for? Now, he mentioned the health sector, and I'm glad he did. A lot of people are looking forward to hearing about government provision for the health sector. We've recently heard about happenings at Kolebu and the renal unit. There have also been a lot of concerns and expectation about the Lajana hospital that was raised down. We've been told that the foreign donors are no longer in the position to give us that 68 million euros that we're supposed to use to reconstruct the Lajana hospital. So I know that people in that constituency, and in fact, a lot of us are expecting to hear about a provision of some sort made for the Lajana Hospital reconstruction project. Also, the recent flood that hit regions around the Volta and the Akosombo Dam, who have been so badly affected, are also expecting that we hear something about resettlement, about housing for them, and even for neighborhoods where the water has receded. The structural integrity of their buildings cannot be ascertained right now, and they're also looking to be resettled. So I'm sure they're also expecting to hear about that. But let's take this last call, and then we'll cross over to Johnny. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Okay, my name is David. I'm calling from Sapama, Accra.
You're welcome to the show. What are your expectations?
Thank you. Yeah, so my expectations are not anything new. I think we be in this country where budgets are always work. And what we always see is always we are putting in taxes that are not, that doesn't make sense. For me, I'm expecting that the COVID levy will be scrapped off because it doesn't make sense, and you shouldn't put any name on that levy because you cannot still go and tax in more health issues. So for me, my expectation is that it should be scrapped off.
What else?
Yeah, and also I'm expecting that the government will come in with more plans of revenue generation. I think there are a lot of things that we need to look at it again. Our towing system and other stuff that we need to look at that we took it off. I think it's time we need to bring those things back.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling and for sharing your thoughts